Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making some crafts accessories to be able to use for other crafts to decorate because it's so much more expensive to buy it online. So making it at home will be cheaper and it's actually pretty easy to make. So we're going to be making some cookies, buttons, and I want to try to make roses out of ribbon. So let's get started by making some of cookies. So I'm starting with this brown clay for the dough, a very light brown, and I'm rolling it out and then cutting the shape of the cookie that I want to make. And then I remove all the excess on the cookie. There's a bunch of different shapes you can make. I'm making them more like medium size, obviously not real size cookies. And I want to make the ruffly ends with the wooden dowel because I want to add a heart in it. And I use to make the heart a dotting tool. And I'm going to fill it with jam so it'll turn out good, like the cookie. And I'm adding some holes for decoration and using some eyeshadow. I add like the baked edge. You can also use like watercolor or pencil if you don't have eyeshadow. And then I just make a ton of different shapes to add holes, and then I use eyeshadow to color it to make them look like they were baked in the oven. And then I added some chocolate chips to some chocolate drizzle and a bunch of different details on it. And then for my heart one, I decided to make the jam with Mod Podge and a little bit of paint. You mix it and then you put it inside so it will dry out and look like jam. And then I Mod Podge everything with the stuff so it won't come off. So I finished making all the cookies, so I made a bunch so I can use it to decorate. Like you can attach it to like clips or attach it to like clothes or make a necklace or charm. So this is just good to have around. So next I'm gonna make some buttons out of clay because I want pretty looking buttons, and pretty buttons are kind of hard to find. So let's get started. Now for the buttons, I am rolling out the clay. This is like air dry clay, so it dries pretty fast. And I'm using the circle to make the buttons. And you just take it out, and I'm using a pen to make the holes because I tried with the wooden dowel but it kind of stuck onto it, so using a pen is kind of better because it's metal. And I'm adding 4 holes. You can add as many holes as you want, mostly either 2 or 4. And then you add some decorations, which I add some polka dots onto it. And for another one, I added some stripes. I didn't want to do too much on the buttons because they're pretty small and kind of hard to paint, and then I Mod Podge them to keep them safe. So these are the buttons I made. There's like polka dot stripes, and this red one I used from the cookies, the paint left that I mixed. And this is just for decoration. If you want real buttons, like to actually use them in your clothes, buy real ones with the plastic, because this is just for decorations, which also you could attach to clips or like make a necklace. So this is just good to have it around for decorations. So now I want to make some roses out of ribbon, and hopefully it turns out good. And we're gonna make a ton of those. For the roses, I'm using a paper clip, and I kind of have it like undone. And then you want to add hot glue to the tip of the paper clip so then you can actually wrap it around so it'll stick. And then every time you spin, you add hot glue, And then to actually make the petals for the rose, you start by twisting it up and down and hot gluing it. Some people just thread it, but I recommend just hot gluing it because it's less mistakes, because it can unravel the whole thing. But you just keep folding it up and down, and then near the end I twist it, and I figured out it actually is way better if you keep twisting. You just do really tight twists in the beginning and then make them a little bit bigger near the end to make it look like the rose is like getting bigger. And you'll see how twisting helps way better than folding it up and down. But folding it up and down is a good technique for like thinner roses, but I kind of wanted them to be big. And I burn the edges to make sure it doesn't unravel, and hot glue it down, and then take it off the paper clip, and it's a beautiful rose. And then if you have the thick bottoms, I just cut it off and burn it, or you could hot glue it down. And then you can also add the green ribbon, which I need to get, but without it, it still looks really cute. And I made a ton more in the color white. You could do it any color. So I made a ton more roses. You can make them in any color, and it turned out so cute. But I feel like I do need to add a green ribbon to make them more rose-like. But you can sew them on, hot glue them on stuff, and it's gonna look so much cuter. And that is everything I made for accessories. And I have this box that I made, well, painted, I didn't make the whole box, in my other video, which you should watch. And now I can just store all my little supplies in here. It looks so cute. And I can make a ton more to fill up the whole jar. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Jesus loves you. Bye.